actionable suggestions for how to get out of a climbing rut.
I think I might be able to help here. Hi, I'm James. I have 6 years of climbing experience and I've built my whole platform based off the sport. First of all, let's talk about your goals as a climber, because the end goal of climbing should be to have fun, but some people's idea of fun is grueling training and grinding away at getting that next grade and that next project, while other people's idea of fun is enjoying time with friends, having fun in the movement, and using it as a form of a physical activity that's easy. I notice you're talking about progression, and I notice you're talking about burnout, so I'll give you a little bit of advice on both ends of the spectrum. To start out with, if you're experiencing burnout, it's perfectly fine to take a week off. There's nothing wrong with that, and you won't lose any strength. In all honesty, you'll probably come back stronger. I see you've been climbing for about 6 months, and something I see a lot of new climbers do when they first start out is they'll go all the time, and it will wreak havoc on their body. They'll have fun, but in the end, they'll end up paying for it. So breaks, rest, proper nutrition, these are all factors that are really important when it comes to climbing. I also see that you're a runner, and a lot of dual athletes tend to have issues when they're mixing a strength sport with an endurance sport, especially if they're not eating a horrendous amount of food and sleeping a horrendous amount of the time, because your body is competing for these two resources to replenish two differently affected systems. A lot of times when you focus on grades, you can have difficulty if you're having a bad session, so sometimes it's easier just to focus on getting better at a certain style of climbing, whether that's slab or overhang or lead climbing. For a lot of people, climbing is their first strength sport, which means they don't have experience with weightlifting or gymnastics. And when they're attempting to progress through grades, the limiting factor actually tends to be body strength. And sometimes you just can't climb your way through it. So it may be relevant to take some time to focus on pure pull-ups, or pushing strength, or leg strength, in order to train the parts of your body that aren't being worked when you go climbing. And finally, we have the mental aspect of climbing. You talked about being scared on the wall, and that's one of the hardest things to get over, because fear is irrational, and a lot of times you can't rationalize yourself out of it. So the best advice I can give for that is to try climbs that put you out of your comfort zone and force yourself to make attempts that end in failure. You don't have to reach up and go all in for a hold, but you need to try to at least hit it and fall. The mental aspect of climbing is something people will struggle with years, and it's still something that I struggle with all the time. In the end, when it comes to climbing, you need to pick a training strategy that's fun for you, that you're willing to do continuously. A bad training plan, or one that's suboptimal but one that you do consistently, is going to be a lot better than something that's perfectly optimized but you hate doing. So this might not cover everything, but I hope I helped a little bit.